In a small coastal town where waves constantly whispered secrets to the shore, lived an old man named Elias, the lighthouse keeper. He had worked at the lighthouse for over 40 years, lighting the beacon every evening to guide ships away from the rocky coastline. Elias lived a simple life. His home was a stone cottage near the cliffs, filled with old books, sea maps and shells collected over decades. Every morning he walked the rocky path to the lighthouse, checked the fuel levels, cleaned the lens and waited until dusk to light the great lamp. One foggy afternoon, a young journalist named Claire arrived at his doorstep. She was working on a story about forgotten professions and had heard of Elias from a local sailor. "Why do you still do this job, Mr. Elias?" she asked. "There are GPS systems and modern technology now. Hardly anyone needs a lighthouse anymore." Elias smiled but didn't answer immediately. He brewed some tea, handed her a steaming cup and led her to the lighthouse. Inside, the air smelled of metal and salt. The great glass lens stood like a giant eye watching the sea. Elias gently placed his hand on it. "This light," he said, "might be old-fashioned, but on stormy nights when all systems fail, it can still save a life." Claire listened, intrigued. "That sounds noble," she said, "but wouldn't your time be better spent teaching or writing a book about your experiences?" Elias nodded thoughtfully. "That's the question I asked myself for years. But then I realized, wisdom isn't just about sharing what you know. Sometimes it's about showing up every day and doing what must be done even if no one is watching." Claire sat down by the window as the sun began to set. Through the fog, a small fishing boat emerged, its motor chugging quietly. A moment later, the fog thickened. The boat slowed. Elias walked over, turned a lever, and the great light blazed to life. Its golden beam cut through the gray like a sword. The boat adjusted its course, passing safely through the narrow channel. Claire watched in silence, then looked at Elias. "You saved them." Elias shook his head gently. "No, I just reminded them where they were. They saved themselves." This concludes our collection of wise tales. Each story has been carefully selected for the valuable wisdom it holds, ensuring that these timeless lessons continue to be passed down. However, we have a favor to ask. Please share your thoughts after each tale. Your comments help us understand what resonates with you, guiding us in selecting the next stories to preserve and share. Remember, your engagement keeps these wise tales alive, so don't forget to comment after each story. Thank you for being a part of our community. Now let's continue with another tale from our collection. Deep in the heart of a bustling city, nestled between towering skyscrapers and the ceaseless hum of traffic, stood an unassuming bookstore. It wasn't the largest or the most modern, but for many, it held a special place. Here, amidst the rows upon rows of books, resided an old man named Theodore, the bookstore owner. He wasn't just any ordinary man. Over the years, he'd become a sort of philosopher, dispensing advice and insights to anyone who entered his shop. Theodore's wisdom wasn't confined to books or lectures. It was woven into the very fabric of his daily interactions. He listened intently to each customer's concerns, offering guidance that was as calming as the soft music that played in the background. To him, every visitor was more than just a customer. They were a story waiting to be understood, a puzzle he had the privilege of helping to solve. One day, a young woman named Amelia stepped into the store. Her eyes, filled with sadness and uncertainty, scanned the shelves as if seeking an answer in the titles. Theodore, ever observant, noticed her troubled demeanor and gently approached her. "Can I help you find something, miss?" he asked, his voice as soothing as the worn leather armchairs scattered around the store. Amelia took a deep breath, then met his kind eyes. "I'm searching for a book," she began, "but not just any book. I need advice, guidance, something to help me understand my life's path." Theodore smiled knowingly. "Ah, so you seek wisdom. But remember, child, wisdom isn't always found between book covers. Sometimes it's found in the journey itself." Intrigued, Amelia leaned closer. "What do you mean?" "Life," Theodore replied, "is full of choices, each branching out in two different directions. Some lead to joy, others to sorrow. But the most important thing is to choose wisely, for every choice shapes our path, molding us into who we are meant to be." His words struck a chord within her, reminding her of the countless crossroads she'd faced without realizing their significance. "But how?" Amelia asked. "With so many paths ahead of me, how am I supposed to know which ones to take?" Theodore gestured to the vast array of books surrounding them. Just as these books offer countless stories and lessons, so does life. You won't find a single book that holds all the answers, but that shouldn't discourage you. Instead, it should inspire you. For every book you read, every experience you encounter, adds a chapter to the story that is your life. He paused, letting his words sink in before continuing. Don't fear the journey, Amelia. Embrace it. 4. It's in the moments of choice, in the challenges you overcome, that your true strength and wisdom will shine. Amelia felt a surge of empowerment as she realized that her life wasn't a search for answers, but a creation of her own design. Thank you, Mr. Theodore, she whispered, her voice filled with gratitude. I needed to hear those words. My dear Amelia, Theodore responded, wisdom isn't found, it's earned. It grows with each step you take, each decision you make. Trust yourself, trust the journey, and above all, keep choosing to be the best version of yourself. As Amelia left the bookstore, she carried with her more than just the promise of new beginnings. She took with her the spirit of adventure, the courage to face the unknown, and the belief in her own ability to shape her future. And so, guided by Theodore's timeless wisdom, she ventured forth into the world, ready to write the next chapter of her story. And there you have it, another tale from our collection. If you resonated with this story, please share your thoughts below. Your comments guide us in selecting the stories to share. Remember, wisdom isn't just about age, it's about perspective and life's journey. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking wisdom in every chapter of your life.